YouTube, what's up with y'all? It's your man Gip, back with another video. First reaction video. Let's get right into it.
Warning, warning. This video contains information and content that may offend and trigger sensitive people. If you are offended by this video, you can contact our complaint department at contact@boneheadtruckers.com.
Hey guys, welcome to Bonehead Truckers. This is a place we make fun of the dumb stuff we see out here on the road. And whoever sent me this video, I'm going to call the police on you, okay? And you're not going to be able to send me an email again. So this guy sent me an email of this guy right here.
Okay, I'm not going to be one of those kind of guys doing reaction videos that just stops and get the blab in his mouth too much. We're going to watch the video. We're going to check Bonehead Truckers out today, guys. Real interesting fellow here, but that's the first thing I want to touch on, man. I always trip off of people. They always want to go blabbing off and running their fat mouth and acting like they super tough and got all this negative stuff to say and super macho, right? And as soon as they get offended or you bring that funk to them, man, the first thing they come flying out of their mouth is, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police, man. This dude, I mean, he appears to be a big guy. You can see him here. He's got to be at least 250, 240, big guy, look like he hang out in the bar all day and night, when he's not doing YouTube videos talking about people. See a Texas flag in the background, a bunch of other Texas memorabilia. You look on this screen, he got the skull and bones back there, so who knows what frame of mind he really is in. But whenever you hear somebody always want to resort to calling the police, man, just be aware of that. Let's get into it.
Now, I'm not going to play the video, but this guy's a dumb idiot, okay? I'm just sitting there saying everything that comes out of his mouth is dumb, all right? And then he has audacity to try to pretend to be an economist, okay? Like he's some kind of expert on the economy and all this kind of stuff. Well, anyway, first, can I make fun of his beard first before we go into what he said? This guy, listen, if you cannot grow a beard, if you cannot grow a sufficient beard, then don't do it at all. There is no shame in not being able to grow a beard. This guy definitely cannot grow a beard at all, so stop trying. I'm like, what is this on his face? I'm not one to make fun of someone's looks, but doggone, I can do better than that. And if I couldn't, I know my role and shave it all off. So what this guy said in his video, and I'm not going to play it on here because it's just the way it is. Now I'm not going to give this is the only shout out he gets is his stupid looking face. What this guy said is calling every Trump supporting truck driver dumb and inbred and all the phobes and ists. All those scary words that people like to say. Oh, you're phobic. Oh, you're ist. But those words don't.
Okay, now the guy he just saw with the scruffy beard, all the inbred stuff, that's something else. But as far as being dumb, thinking Donald Trump is gonna save the truckers or save anybody for that matter, something is wrong with you, man.
Have any meaning, but they think it does. But anyway, this guy says that all these Trump supporting truck drivers are so dumb, and Trump signed this executive order on a law that already exists, so he absolutely did nothing. This guy, if he's this dumb, and it doesn't surprise me. But his viewers are equally as dumb that actually believes a word that this guy says. So let me spell this out for you guys. The English language proficiency is actually on the FMCSA, and it has been for years. But in 2016, this memorandum out of the Obama administration was put out, took that same violation from an out of service violation, okay, to a fine, and you're just allowed to keep on trucking. This memorandum went against the FMCSA's rule against it. You're not allowed to drive a truck if you can't speak English. That's been a rule. Obama.
So this is my first one, right? So I'm sitting here looking at the camera, and I could tell how when I would look away from the camera, I'm looking at my peripheral, my skin tones would look like I would darken. So it just dawned on me, I had my shutters open behind me back there, and I guess the backlight was reflecting off the lens of the camera. So through your lens, I may appear darker. I'm a brown skinned guy, man, and I think I got it right. I got excellent lighting in the kitchen area. Got my PC set up here. Got my Sony being charged as I'm recording. Now, I have noticed doing these reaction videos using my Sony, my vlogging camera is a lot more proficient than using the camera here on the PC. I've been in here the last 3-4 days troubleshooting, trying to figure out Streamlabs. I couldn't do my complete reaction in there. Finally figured out how to just go ahead and record the media that I want to use for the reaction. Come back, use my editing software, Wondershell Filmora, watch the video while recording, getting the screen capture of myself actually reacting to it. So I just figured out I got the lighting excellent, whether I move in and out of the camera or not. You know what I mean? Now when I go open those shutters back up, the backlight is just reflecting off the lens. So I actually think this is the best fit. Actually, let me close the lighting over here. No natural lighting coming in anywhere from outside, just all lights from my my camera, man. I think these were kind of good. Let this light back in. I do got some nice ring lights. I guess that would actually work out better having behind my reaction setup. So I'm really trying to figure this out, man. I'm doing it off a laptop. Now I think if you actually have a personal computer or actual PC and not a laptop, I would possibly be able to log on and actually do the full reaction, with Streamlabs. But this is my first time out, man. Get down in the comments, give me any suggestions, you know, how did this one come out? I hope it came out good. We just filming it raw. But enough jaw jacking, man. Let's watch Bonehead Trucker, man, because he really do act like he got a bone stuck in his head. If not in his head, somewhere else.
But this guy right here, this ugly, whatever this thing is, does not know this. And so he should not be speaking on it. Just like I'm not going to go and get here and start talking about broker transparency.
Shout out to my boy CDL Shorty. Now CDL Shorty, if you watching this video, is he talking about you, man? Because I know you like to bring a lot of awareness to the trucking community as far as broker transparency, which is very important, man. But this guy, he's gonna try to take the defensive approach as far as he's here for safety, quote unquote. You know, it seems like you should be more worried about the money aspect of it. I mean, when you really look at a lot of the trucker content on YouTube, guys, majority of it is negative, man. I don't like to just put too much negative in the air like that about what I'm involved in, what you involved in. You know, it's about banding together and trying to share information, you know, meaningful, helpful information that's going to help each other out here get ahead, man. Not just on here bashing people because they can't speak English. If these immigrants come over here to this country, first of all, you know, he need to be making videos about the government and giving them all these visas, passing out all the visas, allowing these people to come in here to work. And yeah, bash the government, man. You know, right Donald Trump, who he's hanging from Donald Trump's nuts. Right Donald Trump, tell him to stop giving these people visas. But that's not gonna happen. But if these immigrants come over here, man, and they outwork you, and they outworking you, whoever's watching, man, that's on you. You know, don't let nobody outwork you. This guy, I've never seen him in a truck. He's always at the different truck shows. He's always ranting and raving on YouTube with nothing positive to say about any immigrant, man. So I'm not gonna call him a racist. I don't know, but it's definitely giving racist vibes.
Listen, that's someone else's job on YouTube, not mine. I'm all about the safety of trucking and all that kind of stuff. Broker transparency, you're not going to get me to sit there. I may cover a news story, but I'm not going to give you my full-fledged opinion and go on a rant like this. So what this guy does, in my view, he goes and makes this video in support of immigrants coming over here and running over people. This dude is from Colorado.
Now, before I heard anybody say this out their mouth, it had finally dawned on me that possibly, more than likely, 99% was the cause of that fatal accident coming down I-70, coming through Colorado. Some vicious, steep downgrades there. And the footage of the people that was filming a guy coming down the hill, he had blew past like 2 or 3 doggone runaway truck ramps, man. So maybe the guy couldn't actually read the sign to know that, hey, that's the way I need to go. Veer this truck and trailer off over here and shoot up this hill on these rocks and slow me down. But that is serious right there, guys. You know, I'm not taking up for anything out here that's any stupidity, and I've done my fair share of stupid things on here. You know, the biggest thing I'm guilty of is not logging into my ELD. But it is some truth to that. Like, just imagine being in their country, you know, and you out there driving trucks, and, you know, even I remember us going to Europe, man, and I had such a hard time trying to navigate through Europe. All the different signs that were in the French language. I mean, I didn't know where I was going. Didn't speak a lick of French, still don't. They didn't have the Google Translate app that you can use on your phone to kind of somewhat help you navigate these different countries if you're there. But I can imagine driving around with 80,000 pounds on the highway and not being able to read the sign.
Okay, where 2 accidents by immigrants from other countries that didn't know English ran over people. One of those, which was deported 16 times, was still able to drive a truck. If you don't think that that's a problem, then you've got a doggone problem yourself. Then there's this.
Of course, things would be much better if the Democrats weren't engaging in lawfare, suing, trying to stop and reverse virtually every executive order that President Trump signs into law. And I'm sure that they won't be happy about this new one either.
Will be a order directing the Department of Transportation to include English literacy tests for our truckers. This is a big problem in the trucking community. That
Answer this for me, guys. When you go and get your commercial driver book, to start doing your training from the Department of Motor Vehicles in your state, don't they offer those books in Spanish as well? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, how do these people even get their commercial driver's license for any of the states? And, if it's in English or, I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure they have them in Spanish. But as far as Ethiopian and the Indian language, what do they speak? Sync? I'm not sure what the name is for their language. But, basically what I'm saying is, how do they even go about getting the doggone license if they can't speak English?
this is a big problem in the trucking community that, unless you're in that community, you might not know.
It's a big problem throughout the entire country. We have millions and millions of people here who don't even speak our language.
But there's a lot of communication problems between truckers on the road, with federal officials and local officials as well, which obviously is a public safety risk. So we're going to ensure that our truckers, who are the backbone of our economy, are all able to speak English. That's a very common sense policy in the United States of America. So the president will be signing that later this afternoon.
How is this not already a standard?
Worried about the language barrier so tough like this. This guy too, whoever he is, man, why don't she go get the president to sign something into law that takes us back to the old standard of trucking, where it's set rates for anybody, any year, any time of day, all these fluctuating rates, allowing these brokers to rip us off. Like, that's what she needs to go back there in the back office and when she get up off her knees, get the president to sign.
Standard ever since trucks were created. And why are we allowing foreigners to take such prestigious jobs? Trucking is a fantastic industry, a fantastic job. I thought the immigrants were coming here to work jobs that, quote, Americans don't want to work.
Man, Mark Dice, one of my favorite freaking people, made this video. I was so excited to hear Mark Dice say these words, okay? Because once I started doing this, I used the word foreigners a lot. And then when we started, dealing with legislatures and all that, I got calls and texts on the back end says, hey, don't use the word foreigners. The political people, the people that are in office, they don't like that word. We got to use a different word. But it's just like when I hear Mark Dice say it, and then when you have, because of us making a lot of noise, the White House doing something about it. Yes, it is non-domicile CDLs, okay? But let's just face it, foreign truck drivers coming over here and taking away our American dream. Ever since I was a kid, all right, I wanted to be a truck driver. I was able to be a truck driver for 20 plus years, okay? And all I knew when I was a kid is truck drivers were American. Don't matter what color you're from, what color you are, what country you're from. If you come here to America the right way and you're an American truck driver, you are a hero of mine. As a kid, all the way to now. And now I look around and you get out there in the freaking truck stop, it looks like a third world country because people come from other countries, come over here and bring their ways of life here, and then they run over people. So this is where we stand. Obviously, this system needs to be fixed. We need to stop allowing immigrants to come over here, drive trucks that aren't trained.
Say, look, I agree with him on that, man. You know what I mean? Them dudes be messy as hell, man. I remember one time I went in there and the dude was, you know, like, first of all, I stopped even going in the truck stop restrooms in the morning to brush my teeth, man. I would get out there on the side of the truck, rain, sleet, or snow, bottle of water, toothpaste. I'm just out there raw. I'd rather do that, brush my teeth on the side of my truck, have my rag, wipe my face, try to do it in an orderly fashion, make sure I don't drop my toothbrush on the ground or my rag for my face. Because when you go into some of these truck stops and try to use the restroom early in the morning, first of all, it's going to be smelling funky as heck. They in there shitting. You will probably see some unruly people over at the sinks doing some things that they shouldn't be doing.
The American way, okay? Just like I can't go to another country, okay, that I don't know their system, I don't know their language, I don't know how they operate there, and then go take my American ways over there, I'm going to probably be in a pickle, okay? That's just the way it is, because we have our own systems over here. So if you watch dummies like this and think that these people actually know what they're talking about, please understand that this guy right here is uneducated, uninformed.
That's a fact, y'all. Hey, man, I'll see y'all on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Bonehead truckers, man, don't go too hard on me if you catch wind of this, but you something else, man. Get that hate out your heart.